Hi, this is an overview of Whatif. Whatif is cost estimation or modelling software. It's designed for PCs and it's multi-user. There are 5 modules: standard costing, that is standard product costing; budgets, that is sales budgets; product quotes, job quotes, and projects. The standard costing module is the base of the system and it is mandatory, whereas the other modules are all optional and can be added as required. The license cost is based on modules that you use and the number of users in each module. This is the item master of the standard costing module. It consists of products which are made or purchased, and it also highlights the dimension side of products. More than highlights them, dimensions can be used to configure the bill of materials for made items, such as this one here. If you look at its bill of materials, you can see that there can be a formula inserted in the bill which is used by the system to determine the requirements in the bill, that is a quantity used, based on the dimensions of the product. Labour and overhead for made items in Whatif are added by machine, by operation, for setup and or running. Labour costs, in terms of cost per minute of labour and overhead cost per minute, can be calculated in the system using labour rate builder and overhead rate builder. So that is the basic setup of the costing module. As I've said, it is a mandatory part of the system. You must have the standard costing module because other modules do use it. But having said that, the other modules are optional and depend upon your requirements. Take the product quotes module, for example. In the product quotes module, we have the quote header, and then each quote has its lines. Quotes are created by customer. The customer details, including its parameters of market type, salesperson, come from the customer master file. The customer is followed up in a follow-up section, and the life of the quote and its status is captured here in terms of submitted, approved, held, cancelled for status, and results in terms of acceptance, rejection, and so on. Okay. Products can be brought in from the costing module as lines, and the product's bill of materials comes in straight from the costing module, and its labour operations also come in, and both of these can be reconfigured based on the dimensions that this particular quote requires. So these dimensions can change, although they come from the standard in the costing module, they can be changed. Quotes layouts can be customized. A quick look at the quote. Your company name, your address, your logo, you can put all of these things in and customize the quote as required. You can customize the preamble part of the quote. You can also customize the layout here. You can reduce the size of the item code and description columns. You can eliminate the item code if you don't want it, and so on. At the foot of the quote, you have a remark section that you can put in, different for each quote if you require, and you have your totals, and quotes can be including or excluding GST tax. So that's the product quotes module. The job quotes module is the same as the product quotes module in the sense that you are controlling through your header your follow-up and your date submission and results, etc. All of that is exactly the same. What's different here is that the what you are quoting is a job cost. Now, quotes in the job module, job quote module, can be due and charge type quotes, or they can be a job quote all type quote where the total value of the job is quoted, whereas in due and charge type quotes it is the each individual cost element that is quoted, like materials, labour and subcontract and other costs. So that's the job quotes module. Finally, the projects module. Projects are developed where you have a project over time and you have activities which are required to complete the project over time. So if we look at our activities, we have here a particular project, we have the total cost of the project here, and once again these are estimated costs of materials, labour, overhead, subcontract and other costs. You have headers and you have details type activities. The detail activities can be costed. They are costed in terms of materials, labour, subcontract and other, and there are cost drivers that you can define for each activity, and then those cost drivers can be used in adding items to your bill of materials, and you can use cost drivers here to drive the quantity of the material required in the bill of materials. In labour, we have two types of operations we can add. We can add an operation for a work centre that can be driven by the driver, that is, the hours required can be driven by the driver to that particular activity. And secondly, you can add a shift. Now, a shift relates to a predetermined, pre-configured shift of labour over a week, and those shifts can be added here. You select your shift and you then specify the period, and the number of weeks that you're going to add for this shift to the activity. So what you're doing here is you are adding this shift, and with all of these assumptions for a particular period of time to that activity. So that then results in a labour and an overhead value being added to this activity. Yes, so that is the particular structure of the project module. Okay, so if you want to delve further into each of these modules, you can pick these up in the tutorials for Whatif. Just go to our website. Thank you.